Hi everyone, welcome to Talking Mental Health with me, Joe. And this morning I am joined I am joined by Tom from the Midlands. How are you, Tom?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate. So, do you want to just tell us real quick, just to intro it, what Messy for Mind is and how it came about?
Message for Mine is a campaign challenge that I started to raise mental health awareness back in 2017. What the challenge is about is it's similar to the ALS challenge, but the idea behind the challenge is they call mental health and depression an invisible illness. But by getting messy, you can see that the stigma is actually there. Since we started the challenge in 2017, we've raised over £10,000 for Mind, and over 350 people have been involved in the challenge.
Incredible. So, first of all, congrats on raising all that money. That's a great
Thanks.
effort for what, just going over 3 years, I suppose. So, with the challenge, and you said you want it to be more visible. What do you get people to do as part of the challenge?
Obviously with the ALS bucket challenge, people got wet, with buckets
Hmm.
of water. With this one, people get slime, hide in the face, anything messy that's visible to show that the stigma is there. So a lot of people have explained to me that mental health is messy. So that's another sidetrack to what this is as well.
Okay, interesting. And I was just reading a minute ago, you won Social Media Champion of the Year at the Mental Health Blog Awards. Was that last year?
That was 2019.
2019.
I got runner up this year in the same category last
Wow.
year.
So, and was that for all the work that you've been doing online?
Yeah, it came about. I mean, back in 2019, and I got nominated. I was really, really surprised. And they also asked me to um, do a speech, like talk about my campaign in front of loads of people. Like I've never even done a talk like in front of people before, so it was really nerve wracking. That talk is on, I think it's up on YouTube somewhere. I've actually posted it on my Facebook page as well. It should be there somewhere. But yeah, it was really nerve wracking because I actually prepared like a full-on speech. Like I actually typed it out, but I just went off script because I just didn't want to keep like looking down and just bambling on. So I just basically went off my own accord, and yeah, people seemed to enjoy it, and they really took to it. So it went wow. I mean, I was really nervous doing it. To this day, I still can't believe I've won an award for this. Um, Last year as well, we got nominated for the ITV Diversity Awards
Wow.
as well. We weren't shortlisted, but we got nominated, which was an achievement. Um, since then, I mean, it's not just me who does Massive Mind. We have a team now, so we have a girl called Stephanie from Scotland. She helps with admin and celebrity support. She does a lot of that. We have a guy in the Midlands named Dan. He's also an admin as well. He lives in Derbyshire. We've just recruited two more people. A girl named Stephanie who lives in Southampton. She's an eating disorder activist. So she's very passionate about mental health as well. And we've just recruited a new woman called Claire, who's very passionate about mental health. So it's not just me. I mean, at the start of 2017 to 2018, it was just me. And I was just like, I can't do this all on my own because I literally manage every social media aspect, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And I was like, I really need to like get some people like to help me out with this. So I've got these guys on board, and they've been absolutely amazing. Stephanie, especially, has been absolutely amazing with the work she's done for Messy for Mine. But yeah, we just want to continue to grow. I mean, we've had people involved from America. We've had we had a girl from Australia do it 1 year. I mean, we're not just supporting a UK charity. We're trying to raise as much awareness for mental health as possible because so many people out there are struggling. It was amazing how many people got involved over the last year during the pandemic.
Hmm.
I think we had over 100 people last year take part. And we raised £4,000 to our total up to 10,000, which was just incredible. Because obviously these times are really tough at the moment, and we want to keep continuing. It's really tough at the moment because there's loads of people who want to get involved, but they want to get involved with their friends. But obviously, they can't see their friends at the moment, so we're just advising people to do the challenge at home, in a safe space. it's just a bit of fun as well, you know, because obviously everything's doom and gloom at the moment, and it's just something that people can get involved with, have a bit of fun, and raise awareness and raise a bit of money.
Fantastic. And I noticed on your Twitter page as well, you got a message from a former wrestler or a wrestler who's, I mean, I know him as else, but
it's on my pinned one. It's Dustin Rhodes, also known as Goldust.
yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with WWE or anything. Yeah. I'm a massive wrestling fan. Well, I'll tell you a story. I'm quite friendly with his daughter. We talk a lot on social media. She's actually taken part in the challenge. She took part in October, and she's going to try and get some of the All Elite Wrestling guys involved. So that would be really. They know about it, so you know it's word of mouth. So they know about it. That's the first thing. I mean, if you know about it, then that's a start to get the ball rolling, sort of thing. She was. I interviewed her last year, and she was amazing. She's a really, really lovely girl. Really passionate about mental health. Really wants to help the cause as well this year. We're not sure when, because she wants to get her dad involved, Dustin, which he will do it. And she want to try and get Cody Rhodes involved as well. So that's a possibility as well. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, 2021 is quite a big year for us. I mean, we've just had a huge. I can't say the name yet because we just had a huge celebrity contact this week. Steph's been dealing with it. We'll probably announce it soon, but we can't really say too much on it yet because it's a bit top secret sort of thing. But yeah, no, it's going good. Like I said, I mean, like reaching out to, to Dustin Rhodes' daughter, Dakota. I mean, she lives in America. You know, we're helping a UK charity, but mental health affects everybody around the world. You know, when people ask me about the challenge and say what it involves, what's the story behind it, they're like, that's really cool. You know, that's something that's really, really effective. And like we've said before, we're not professional, you know, we're not counselors or anything like that. We're only there to just help you guys to, you know, have a bit of fun, raise awareness, raise a bit of money for a good cause. And especially at this time, I mean, it's just, everything's just going, going to pot at the moment. I mean, we were trying to do events last year, but that didn't happen because of the pandemic. We don't think we're going to do events this year either because of the whole social distancing and everything that's going on. But yeah, we just want to continue going strong. I mean, we have done for the last 4 years now. I mean, I've started this from the last, since 2017, which is mad. I mean, I still can't believe to this day I'll tell you the story how it all started. When we started filming it, we put it up on social media, and basically, you know, when you upload something, you think, yeah, this is it. You know, it's make or break sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, when we uploaded it, by under 24 hours, it had over 1,000 views.
Wow.
And now to this day, the video has 46,000 views.
And is that on all
Facebook.
Social media platforms, or is there?
No, it's on my Facebook. It is on the Messy for Mine page as well. It's not on Twitter, but it's on Instagram as well. It should be on Instagram. It should be the first video on there, I think. But hey, it's got more viewers on my Facebook than anything. But I think so many people have asked me like, what's your goal for 2021 or anything? Well, we don't really have any goals. We just want to keep going. You know, we just want to keep going with this to help people. I mean, one goal would be to try and get it on local TV or TV itself, because I've been on the radio quite a few times talking about this, but it's more of a visual thing. You know, when you describe it on the radio, you have to imagine, you know, you have to have a picture in your head of what it is. So with with TV, I mean, we've discussed it that we think that it's more of a visual thing, which it is a visual thing, because obviously more people are talking about mental health awareness and mental health now during these tough times, these struggling times with so many people, struggling. So many people have said, "Oh, I don't get how this isn't news, how this isn't on TV and all that." I was like, "Yeah, I know. It's just tough. I mean, we've contacted news outlets and all sorts, but they just don't to be interested as much. I mean, I've got to update a few things on the Mind press release that they did for us. So fingers crossed that might, come about or something."
Yeah, it's still quite a taboo subject, isn't it? You were mentioning there about the news, and if I do a lot of stuff around mental health, and I know a lot of people that do work around mental health, but it seems that mainstream media and news outlets don't really want to talk about it. They will in snippets, but it's still quite taboo, isn't it? And I guess that's what you're finding with them as well.
Yeah, I kind of think it's also because I was reading something the other day that they more focus on the negative
Mm,
stuff. They don't want the positive sometimes. I mean, they do, but it depends on what it is. I mean, I kind of think that more needs to be done with mental, especially now, because like the figures that have gone up with with the suicide rate, which is
mm,
really really sad to see with everything that's going on with the pandemic. I don't think the government do enough, to be honest, with helping out with whole mental health or anything. Like I saw a couple of weeks ago that Time to Change are closing their doors because
mm.
of funding, which is really sad. But that's just the way things are at the moment. Um, yeah, it's just the way it is. Yeah, it's difficult because, like you said about the taboo around mental health, it's sometimes it's spoken about, but then it's forgotten. Because I
Mm.
kind of think that some people do talk about it. I mean, I'm a mental health campaigner anyway, so I'll be talking about it until I
Yeah.
until I get bored of it. But it's just the way the things are, and just the way that sometimes the media plays it out.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I know so many people. I'm part of a peer support group. I facilitate a support group for teenagers. People do want to talk about it, and people are, I think, now more open to talking about mental health than they ever have been. But at the same time, I think that there needs to be more exposure, like you said, to the positives, because everybody who goes through mental health, has a story in some way, shape, or form, and it does come out in positives as well as negatives. So I think it's important to show those positives. And I was going to ask you, I guess my next question was, how did Messy for Mind actually come about? Like, what was the story that kind of led up to the challenge happening?
So back in 2016, I started planning it. What kind of led me to it is when I was working at one of my old jobs. There was a guy who was working there, who was like he was probably the most like happiest person you'd ever meet. Like he was always singing, dancing, and all sorts. And couple of months later on down the line, he sadly he committed suicide. So I wanted to do something. It wasn't just that. I just noticed that, I mean, myself, I was struggling during that time, and so my other friends were. And I wanted to do something because I looked back at the Ice Bucket Challenge. I saw so many people were doing it and talking about ALS, raising awareness, raising money. And I thought, why not something for mental health? So I decided to do a video where I contacted Mind asking if I could use their fax in their video, and they said, yeah, that's not a problem. So I wanted to do a no talking video. So I started to basically create some slideshows, slide cards of facts about mental health and basically explain what the challenge was. Now, I was doing this in 2016, just late 2016. I remember showing my friends this, and they said that's a really good idea. So we started to basically started filming it in the late summer of 2017, and it was quite nervy because I was thinking, oh, this is even going to be a flop, or it's going to be just a wait, not or it's going to be successful. But then I found out that it's either don't do it or just you can't go back on anything that you didn't have. Because I was working on it for a really long time, and I obviously wanted to pick a perfect time to do it. So I thought the summer because I was working through it through like December 2016 up until April. So I thought, yeah, why not do it in the summer? Because obviously it's a bit warmer, people get involved, sort of thing. And yeah, so we started filming it, and it was very good. I had a bit of a miss up though, because when on one of the slides, I'm not covered in slime, I can't actually move the card, so it's like it's stuck. So I had to have one of my friends, you can see in the video, like pressing her hand, like just to remove the other card. So yeah, that's probably the only mistake in the video, but still, yeah, I mean, it's had over 700 shares. I know it's been 4 years. I mean, we're coming into our 5th year now, which is mad. But still, yeah, it's just amazing. I'm just still gobsmacked on how popular it's gotten over the last 4 years. You know, it's helping people. We get messages from people saying, "You're doing amazing. Keep up the good work." You know, I've had days where I kind of want to give up on it because due to my mental health and depression. But then when I see people struggling, you know, I think, why should I give up when? Why should we give up? You know, this is helping people. You know, it's putting smiles on people's faces, and that's what we want to do, really. I mean, especially I came to a point back in 2018 where I just want to just give up on it. But with everything that's, you know, with the whole COVID situation, the pandemic, with people, you know, suffering, why give up on it?
Yeah, it's such yeah. And like you said, people need to have something to put a smile on their face, you know, particularly now everyone's stuck at home. I think it's really important in what you're doing. And you mentioned there about your depression. Is that something that you're still coping with?
Yes. I'll be honest, last year wasn't a very good year for me. I had to quit my job due to bullying and mental health issues. I went through so much. It was really, really destroying me mentally. It was a really tough decision. It's been really hard, like since leaving, because I can't actually find a job. It's really difficult. It is probably the best thing I ever did, leave, because it was affecting me mentally, and 2, I wasn't getting anywhere because it was just getting worse and worse and worse, and I really couldn't just bear to be there anymore. So I just decided to leave, which was a lot of people. Like, I keep looking back and I'm thinking, oh, have I done the right thing with, you know, with what's going on? But then I think to myself, my health's more important. You know, I mean, you know, jobs come and go nowadays. I know it's going to be more difficult for me to get a job during what's going on, but I need to, you know, look after myself more than anything, especially with my mental health issues. I'm currently having CBT at the moment to help me with this, and that's doing me a world of good. It's really, really helping me a lot. I've never had CBT before, or you had one-to-one therapy, but obviously that's very difficult now with obviously the pandemic, so that's very difficult. But yeah, if anybody's out there, I recommend CBT. It's very, very good. I'm really, really getting a lot out of it, so it's helping me a lot. And yeah, I mean, to this day, I mean, I still keep hearing things about my job, like where I work, on the way they treat people and all that, and I kind of think that more needs to be done in the workplace for mental health for people. I don't think they're looked after properly. I think that more people need to be, not say educated on it, but I think they need to be more aware. And I think that more people need to be a bit more, we're looking for, a bit more, not obscure, but a bit more pleasant towards people, because sometimes the way you talk to somebody, it can actually trigger somebody, or the way that you come across to somebody, it can be very anxious. It can be very anxiety-like. I left due to bullying, and I've been bullied majority of my life, so that's another thing that I just couldn't, you know, handle anymore. Don't get me wrong, I am happy, but you know, it's just this current situation at the moment. I mean, find a job. It's just I don't know when, but I'm just at the moment, I'm happy that I don't work there anymore. It was really bringing me down. I was in tears some days, but yeah, no, I'm doing fine at the moment. Just getting there one day at a time.
Fantastic. And, again, that's a positive story that like we were saying before, people do struggle, but there are positives that come out of those sometimes. So it's great to hear that you're thriving at the moment. You said about the bullying in the workplace, and, you said like you've been bullied all your life. Was that something that kind of happened in school, and then once it happened in the workplace was a trigger of those memories of what happened?
Yeah, pretty much. I was pretty much bullied majority of my school life, because I am also I do have learning difficulties. So majority of school life, some work life. Most jobs I've been bullied at. So that's another thing that sort of like brought back memories, sort of things with the triggering aspect. But no, it doesn't really help you when you're being ganged up by your bosses and things like that. That doesn't really help you much. Doesn't really fill you a lot of confidence either. And I'll be honest with you, it has knocked me back. It has sort of put me in an anxious term about, getting another job. Like sometimes I feel like, oh, I need the right job. But obviously, it's just something that it is what at the moment. But yeah, going back to the bullying, I was picked on a lot at school. But I've become a stronger person. I'll be honest with you. Like out of leaving school and college. College wasn't that bad. I wasn't bullied at college or anything. But school. Through primary and high school, I was bullied majority of the life. I've been bullied, outside of work, outside of school and work before as well. But I think many people have as well. But that's just the way that some people are. But I just tend to ignore it and just get on with it, because I feel like if you've been bullied throughout your school life and all that, you pretty much get used to it. I know it's not a nice thing, but it's just the way that you just tend to become a stronger person.
And excuse me, from your experience, like when you were in school, was there enough support around stuff like that for someone like yourself? Because I've had a lot of conversations with people, parents, students who say, yeah, we've been picked on, or my kid's been picked on, and the school's not really dealing with it. They're kind of just brushing it on the carpet.
Not really, because with my first school, I actually got we actually got taken out of it because my parents couldn't stand the teachers just handling stuff. Right. So we moved to another school. So that's pretty much another thing. So to answer your question, not really, no.
That's such a shame, isn't it? Because, like you said, it did make you stronger in a strange roundabout way, but at the same time, you shouldn't really have had to experience that. And no kids, but it's excuse me, it seems very common, or almost too common, that people have these stories of I was bullied as a child, or even like you said in the workplace, people getting bullied at work, and it's like, surely when we grow up and we become adults, we grow out of that and we know better than that.
Yeah.
But apparently not.
No.
And so just to go back to your point, like you said, you had to quit your job to feel like you could escape. So again, there was no support at work because you just couldn't get the right people to talk to, or I guess you said your bosses were the ones that were kind of the ones coming down on you. So where do you go from there?
Pretty much. It's just there was no support or anything. So yeah, exactly. So like I remember saying to my parents, look, I can't do this anymore. Like I have to leave. They didn't want me to leave, but then like my parents were really fully supportive, saying that they really thought I did the right thing. Like I said to my dad a couple of weeks ago, 'cause my dad's working from home, so he's home with me pretty much all the time. And I've had down days where I'm like, oh, I don't think I've done the right thing. And he's like, are you joking? Yes, you've done the right thing. Like why you wouldn't want to? So it's just, what he just says to me, it's just a job. So your health is more important. We want you to be happy. So that's just the way way that is. And I mean, I've got fully supportive parents, and they really do support what I'm doing with my campaign, what I'm doing, trying to help myself as well. But yeah, it's just I mean, I was just a bit upset there was no support work. There wasn't really anybody that who could see or anything like that. I don't really want to talk about the HR because that was just a complete mess. With you.
Yeah, but
I could talk to you off camera about that, off recording.
That's fine. Yeah, absolutely. No, I understand that. But I think it's really nice that you yourself now are kind of being what you didn't have when you needed it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the positives that I always take from people that struggle with anything, is that they become the support for others that they needed when they were struggling, or when they made a mistake, or when they needed guidance on a particular path. So I think it's so incredible that, one, you recognize that job really wasn't worth your mental health, and two, you've now turned your experiences into a positive, and you're using that positive to help people make changes. So I think that's amazing, and all credit to you for that. And the fact that you've been running it for, what you say, 5 years now, and
it'll be 5 years in July. No, June and July. Yeah.
And you've grown it from just you doing all the social media and all the stuff to then having 6 people, but people from all over the world are getting involved in the challenge as well.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And I think that's one thing that would keep me going, knowing that I'd started X and now I'm at 6, and you're having that impact with the people from the States and from Australia and stuff like that. So I think it's amazing. So, like you were saying before, one of your goals is to get onto local TV. And I guess you're just trying to grow the challenge as much as possible and get more people involved, and then raise as much money for Mind as you can.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've had people ask us, do you have a target for the fundraising money? We're like, no. We have our own Just Giving page, which has over 4,000 on there. But then we've had people that have done Messy for Mind with their other fundraising pages. So we've tallied up the cost, which comes to 10 grand, which is just amazing, just to see so many people, raising money for this. I mean, it's just not just the aspect of raising money. I mean, raising the money is amazing. But we're more fact about the raising awareness side, because so many people are struggling at the moment. This is just a bit of fun. I mean, so many people have said that they've had loads of fun doing it. They think it's an amazing idea. It's just something just to have a bit of fun while we're at home. It's great, but obviously with this weather at the moment, it's very difficult. We don't expect many people to be doing it during this cold times. I mean, we're expecting it to pick up a bit again, maybe in spring. We maybe have one or two. We did have one filmed yesterday that will go up today at some point. One of our team members did one yesterday, just to brighten up the day, sort of thing. So that will go up a bit later on today. And we're very grateful for Steph's support for doing that. She's actually done the challenge twice. A lot of the team members have actually done the challenge more than once. I've actually done it 3 times. I did it the first time I started it. I did it again. For basically one of my friends who is a wrestler. I actually slimed her when we got to 50 people. So I said, if we get to 100 people, she could get her revenge on me. So that happened in the middle of a cold night, December in Bristol. That was fun. And then I did it again on World Mental Health Day last year in October. Stephanie also did it in World Mental Health Day as well, and so did Dan as well. So we're very passionate. We love to help. We're just fun people. We just want to share a bit of fun, have a bit of a laugh on a daunting subject, because talking about mental health all the time is great, but some people can think he's talking about mental health again, it's so depressing. So it's more of a lighter side, but it's actually starting the conversation at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. like you said, it's such a different way to raise awareness rather than, yeah, talking is good, but then there comes a time where, okay, talking, let's stop talking and let's do something a little different and bring a smile to people's faces, like you said before. And I love the logo as well. I saw it on the page and I've just seen it on your t-shirt. It's so colorful. It's
I did
so,
like it.
yeah, I really like
Yeah.
it. So yeah, it looks good. So if people want to do the challenge, how do they just at you guys on Twitter, or do they just share it to their Instagram and just tag you in something like that, just so you can see it?
Yeah, so basically you can drop us a message on Instagram or Twitter or the Facebook page. Someone will get back to you on the Facebook page, or I do. We are on TikTok as well. We just started a TikTok page last year. I don't run that because I'll be honest with you, I don't like TikTok. Stephanie and Dan run that. They've done a really good job on that. But yeah, so on the Instagram page, I pretty much run the Instagram page and the Twitter page. All the other team members run the Facebook page. So yeah, if you want to get in touch with us, just drop us a message, and what we can do is we've got a link to a supplier for slime. So we've got a discount code with them. We've got a charity discount code, so we can send you that. We're not allowed to post it publicly because people would just abuse it. So it's actually just for the use of doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've got that. But yeah, you can use anything, Messi, really. I mean, the slime is just a colourful way just to make it look fun and colourful more than anything. I will tell you a story about the logo. The logo was actually designed by a guy named James from Australia. He actually contacted me through Instagram, and he was like, "I want to design a logo for you," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." So he actually designs band merch for. He designs merch for different bands, but they're not. Some of them have been used, but some of them haven't been used. He's basically like a designer. He's actually some really, really good. He does some really good stuff. If you want to follow him on Instagram, his name is James Brands Designs. They're actually really, really cool. And he basically said, "Look, I want to do a logo for you because I think what you're doing is amazing." So he did us a logo, and it came out of this. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't say, "Look, I want this idea. Look, I want this design." He showed us. He showed me this, and I was like, "That's amazing." He's like, I was like, "How much do you want for it?" He's like, "Well, what do you mean?" It's just like, "Well, I've got to pay you." He's like, "No, it's free." I was like, "What?" It's just, "Yeah, it's a charitable gesture." I was like, "You're doing it for a good cause. You can have it for free." I was like, "Well, that's for me." I still like. I'm a really kind person. I still paid him because for the work he did for it. But yeah, he let us have it for free, which was just amazing. I mean, it's just incredible how many people have reached out and wanted to get involved, wanted to support the cause. We know the challenge isn't for everybody. We know that. But even if people just share posts and things like that, that's just as good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's incredible, and it's amazing how much people do want to help when you connect with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
It just with your social medias, are you guys just at Messi for Mind on Facebook and
Yeah,
Instagram?
so we are. So it's because a lot of people think it's FLR. It's not. It's MESSY, the number 4, and then MIND.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's all. That's all our social medias, even Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We are thinking about setting up a Twitch channel. Don't know yet, but that's just something I might do in the long run because I'm a huge gamer. Gaming is really helping with my mental health, so I might be thinking about doing a Messi for Mine Twitch channel just for mental health and gaming. So what I might do is I've thought about it. If we do a Twitch channel, I'm thinking about getting the logo done, but in retro style.
Nice.
So it looks so it's a sort of gaming related sort of thing.
Fantastic. So you're not just doing the challenge and having conversations. You're trying to think of different ways to get people involved and to raise.
Oh yeah. Well, I run my own. I started last year. I started my own video. I started my own podcast where I interviewed so many people. I think I interviewed 20 people last year talking about mental health and their stories, and I'm continuing it again at the end of January. I've already got a few guests lined up on it already. Last year, to hear so many people's stories about mental health, what they think of the challenge, you know, just talking to them, general chit chat was just absolutely amazing. You know, I connected with so many people last year. I interviewed an actress last year from Hollyoaks, Jasmine Franks. She took part in the challenge on World Mental Health Day. I interviewed her before that. She's a really, really lovely person. As I said before, interviewed Dustin Rhodes' daughter, Dakota Runnels. She was a lovely person to have on. I interviewed lead singer of a band, Anastasia Walker from the band Bang Bang Romeo. They're really big into mental health, so it was a really, really pleasure to interview her. I am actually going to have her back on at some point, so that'll be another good interview as well. They're going to be taking part in the challenge as well this year. It's been really difficult, obviously, with COVID and all that, because they want to do it as a band. There's obviously going to be a bit difficult for them to do that for a while, but I reckon that will happen this year at some point, but we're not sure where. But like I said again, I'm starting the podcast up again in. I was gonna start it January the 30th, but with everything going on, I might start it a bit early, but we'll just see how it goes.
And what's the podcast called? Is it just the Messy for Mine podcast?
It's just the Messy for Mine podcast. Basically, it's a Facebook podcast, so every interview that we do goes on Facebook. It doesn't go on anything else. But yeah, there are some. I don't know if there is any on it. No, there isn't. They're all on Facebook. Yeah, they're all on Facebook. I keep thinking if there's any on Instagram, but there isn't. No, they're all on Facebook.
That's fine. I'm sure people who watch this will be able to go on. Is it on your Facebook or the Messy for Mine Facebook?
No, it's on the Messy for Mine Facebook. There's loads of interviews on there. Loads.
Yep. So if anyone's watching this, go on Messy for Mine Facebook and check out the interviews if you're interested in hearing those people speaking. I guess one of my other questions was, you mentioned earlier about, you know, events that you wanted to do but couldn't do, and then you mentioned about the band there. What kind of events do you guys normally run where people can come to and get involved and do the challenge?
Well, we haven't really ran any events. This is the thing. This is something that we wanted to do. I mean, the only thing I ran an event was that back in 2019, I was actually part of a festival. So what I did is I was asked to set up like a store thing for Messy for Mind. So what I did, I built like my own gunge tank. It wasn't a tank; it was like a frame with a bucket. So basically, you put donations in for people to get slimed, have a go, sort of thing. That's the only thing I've really done. I haven't really done anything else. I mean, we discussed in the Zoom meetings that we've had with the group that we wanted to do events this year. I don't see it happening. It's going to be very difficult with everything that's going on at the moment. Like I've said before, I'm going to keep repeating myself. We just want to continue keep going, doing it at home. I mean, there are people that want to do it in groups. We don't know when that's going to happen. But yeah, events wise, we haven't really done any events. I mean, last year, I did one at a wrestling show. And that's pretty much it. Like basically going around collecting money before like the end of the show, sort of thing. Collect a few donations, things like that, with a charity bucket, things like that. But no, we haven't really done. That's the thing. That's one of the other things we want to do. We do want to set up an event, but we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's hard to plan anything at the moment.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys, you know, you've got a fair idea of what you want to do, and I guess if you can get AEW on board and get them to do something, you know, their huge following will only grow your audience as well. But it sounds like you guys have got so much going on, and you know, it sounds like the work that you guys are doing and the fun that you're bringing to the mental health conversation is something completely different. And I commend you on that, because, you know, you've been through your struggles, but like we said earlier, you've come out the other end and now you're using your experiences to help others in similar situations. So I think what you guys are doing is amazing. And for anybody out there who's watching this video or who hears the podcast, if you have an event coming up, or you might want to have Messy for Mind around, I think it would be great. They'll bring their slime, I guess, and you can slime some people and raise some money. So if any schools, anybody around the country that hears this, reach out to Tom and Messy for Mind and see if you can support those guys in some way, because what they're doing is amazing, and it's only going to be positive vibes if they're helping people with their mental health. So Tom, I guess my last question is, what's your biggest piece of advice for anybody out there who hears this podcast?
I would say that it's okay not to be okay. Don't suffer in silence. We all go through struggles ourselves. Obviously, myself I go through a lot of struggles and depression and things like that. Don't be ashamed to reach out. I remember being asked about this, about especially men feeling that they feel weak if they reach out or anything like that. You don't feel weak. You feel stronger, to be honest. And don't feel ashamed either.
Brilliant. Well, Tom, thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate your time, and thank you for everything that you're doing for Messy for Mind and for people's mental health. I hope you get to run some events this year and your audience keeps growing, because it sounds like you've come a long way, and you're only going to go further, I think.
Cheers. Thank you, Joe.
Take care, Tom.
Appreciate that. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.